Hi everyone, welcome to the series where we are going to help you understand complex AI engineering concepts under 10 minutes. In this series, we will try to break down complex AI engineering terminologies and concepts in simple understandable manner so that you can correlate them with your regular software engineering concepts and even try to apply and do some small prototyping. This series is actually going to help you to start in AI engineering concept from absolute beginner level. Also, if you want to understand the concepts around AI engineering in more in depth, then you can also check out the course by AlgoCamp, where we are going to actually go much more deeper in every single concept and make a lot of interesting projects. So, in this particular series, we are going to touch base upon a lot of interesting AI engineering concepts. So, without any further ado, let's just start. Okay, so in this particular video, we are going to talk about a very interesting optimization that most of the LLMs are actually doing behind the scenes, but maybe you never actually noticed. So one simple thing that everybody has to keep in mind is that most of the LLMs that you are actually interacting with just generate one token at a time, right? So let's say if you ask a particular LLM and give it an input prompt like the capital of France is. So the LLM is going to take this particular input, do some processing and create the next token that is expected to come just after it based on the probabilistic analysis, right? Now, this is not the only last token that is, let's say, going to be generated, right? What to generate after Paris? How the LLM understands it, right? So technically to do that, what happens is you take the existing previous prompt and the previous answer. Combine all of this as a new prompt. That means the new prompt becomes the capital of France is Paris. And this new prompt is again feeded to the LLM in order to generate the next token, let's say, which is a full stop. Moral of the story, that LLMs generate text one token at a time based on the complete past context. Now just think about it. Don't you think this is a bit inefficient? Because a lot of computations that your LLM has to do for these set of tokens, the capital of France, it might have done all of those computation here. But when we appended the output Paris and refeeded this almost same prompt again to the LLM, then a lot of these computations might have also repeated, right? And once you actually repeat these computations, think on a scale of a bigger prompt, how inefficient this whole thing can be, right? So this is the nature of any autoregressive model altogether. Now, just think about it. It's more like you are actually solving a math problem. You are actually writing all the individual steps of that particular problem on a whiteboard. And then once your whiteboard is actually full, or let's say you have completed one step of a problem, you rub everything and then you maybe somehow write all of the previous steps again, maybe in a shorter font, and then continue your calculations, right? So it's more like solving a math problem, but erasing the board and again restarting from step one every time you actually add a new step, right? That's technically the problem. And you can see this has been also represented here, right? So if you will carefully see that in order to generate token number 6, we've processed the first 5 tokens, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, the moment you have token number 6, what to bring after token number 6? To generate that, you have to consider everything again. That means token 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the new token 6. So you have to recalculate everything from 1 to 5 in order to get the token 7. Now, once token 7 has been generated, and if you want to continue, then you have to recompute again everything from token 1 to 6 and then do the new calculation with 7, then only you are going to get the brand new token 8. So you can see there's a lot of recomputation that is technically happening, which is technically leading to a lot of waste of raw compute, right? So your raw compute is technically getting wasted, and that's what we want to technically improve. That's where KV cache comes into the picture. KV cache stores useful attention data to bypass your redundant computation. Now, all of the LLMs that you are actually seeing are nothing but neural networks, which are prepared on top of the transformer architecture. And in the transformer architecture, the most important calculation is your attention mechanism calculation, right? So for all the tokens, if you have already done the computation once, instead of redoing all of those computation, we are going to just cache them all together. And doesn't it sound more like dynamic programming? Yes, the same old technique that we used to use for optimizing a lot of problems where we are recomputing a lot of stuff. Same thing we are technically applying here, right? So it's more like you're not going to actually redo the steps and instead remember them, right? So it's more like if you want to read a very huge book, instead of just keep on reading and forgetting and then again going back to the older pages and reading again, what you are doing is you are actually making some kind of like a smart notes. In these notes, you are going to write down all the important points so that if you have to look back, you do not have to search for all the pages and start reading all the pages. You can just look at the most important information altogether, right? So what we are going to do is the computation is technically going to happen on top of your GPUs, right? In the general case. So whatever are your previous set of tokens, you are going to pass it to your compute engine inside the GPU and get the new set of tokens. Now, whatever computation you already did for the previous set of tokens, you are going to actually store it here in a KV cache. That means this KV cache, it is a memory store in which you are going to store the result of a lot of previous attention calculations. And the moment the same set of tokens again come up, instead of recomputing the attention calculation for all of them, you're going to bring it from your KV cache. That is something that you have to keep in mind, right? So you can say that KV cache trades the available GPU memory for faster text generation, because this KV cache actually sits in your GPU memory, which is the VRAM in the general purpose GPU cases, right? So that's where this data of the KV cache is going to be stored. So you have to actually waste some amount of memory in order to avoid these recomputations, right? So you are going to technically do a space time trade-off, that in order to save the computation time, you're going to actually let go of a few amount of space. So one thing that you have to keep in mind about this cache is that this cache is going to incrementally increase with every new token generation. Why? Because with every new token generation, you will be having new calculation floating point numbers that you have to technically store, right? And the more conversation that is going to happen, the more this cache is going to technically grow altogether, right? So you can say that previous keys and values are appended and reused instead of recomputed. But the more new set of tokens are going to come up, their values are also going to be populated inside your KV cache, right? Now, you can say that we are actually bypassing recomputing a lot of these attention calculation for the previous set of tokens in order to transform and improve your inference efficiency. Inference is the part where you're going to freeze the model weights and just directly use them, that layer that you technically mostly interact with, right? So previously what is going to happen, that you're going to recalculate again and again the previous set of tokens in order to generate the new token, right? This is going to lead to a lot of matrix multiplication, which is going to be approximately around the time complexity of a quadratic curve, right? But the moment you are going to memorize these into a KV cache, you will be able to improve it to linear complexity, right? And that is going to have a lot of improvement in terms of token generation altogether. So you can say that KV cache dramatically reduces the repeated decoding work that you have to do and improve your inference efficiency altogether. Now, you can say that these KV cache is going to store your key value data. So where it is going to store it, as I already mentioned, it is going to store it in the VRAM, that is the video RAM, or you can say the memory for your GPUs, right? So what does that mean? It means a lot of bottleneck is going to now start coming to these VRAMs, that a lot of data is going to be stored inside these VRAMs. So if these VRAMs goes out, or let's say you don't have enough memory in the VRAM, that's where these KV cache performance will start reducing, right? So you can say the cache size multiplies based on the generated token, longer conversation context, simultaneous users, larger parameter models. So this KV cache is going to fill also pretty fast. So you need to also keep that particular thing in mind before optimizing too much on top. And of course, you can say that if this KV cache is going to take a lot of memory, you might need to do more optimization on top, right? One of the primary method is quantization, right? Now, what is quantization and why do you need it and how it can help us to improve the memory? This is something that we are going to talk about in the next set of episodes. But overall, I believe the concept of KV cache, that what KV cache is and why do you technically need it, is making sense to everybody. We have not included any calculations or any matrix visualization so that in simple terms, you can try to understand what goes on behind the scenes when you are actually using your LLMs. So I hope this overall video was useful for you and you were able to understand a new topic about AI engineering and LLMs. That being said, let's wrap this particular video here. We're going to meet soon in the next set of videos. Till then, take care. Bye bye. I'm Sanket Singh, signing off.